Mata ki Jai. Siddharam, cordial welcome to each and everybody. As we enter tonight into our third and final session of virtual Devi Gyaan Yagya, we have been spending time reading from Book 9 of Devi Bhagwat, at the very beginning, dealing with the term of Prakriti. Last night we did Prakriti and Purusha, so that the concept of mother must be developed in a person. Tonight we move forward into another discourse that will explain better, that will explain more the information that we all need. Wonderful discourses that give a person more insight about our devatas, our gods. Tonight, as we get set, as we will be doing some mantras and some puja, some prayer, as we do opening mantras, and then tonight I want to do the sumir for Devi Bhagwat. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapet Jambu Palachara Bhakshritam Umasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam Sarvamangalamangaliye Shive Sarvartasadi Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Vihari Lala ki Jai. Sitting where you are. Get ready now. We're going to do the Sumiran for Devi Bhagwat. Say your prayers for those of you that are logging on. Join together with us tonight at the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram with your Baba as we are getting ready to listen to another discourse. Jan Vijay is ecstatic. He's confused. He's been listening to about a conversation between Lord Vishnu and Narad Muni about creation, about the Prakriti, about Purusha, about these things. And he wants to know more, he wants to know more. And tonight we are going to learn a little bit more as we bring this curtain down on this third session of our Yagya. Tomorrow in the ashram, from very early in the morning, we'll be conducting puja. 6 a.m. we start. Of course, cooking and preparation before that. 6 a.m. puja starts. Reading will be done. Kanyakumari puja will be done. And we are going to conclude by 9 a.m. For now, as we endeavor into our reading, please join your hands together. Those of you that are viewing now, those of you that are joining after, pray together with us. Gauri Shambhu Gira Guru Govinda Ganapati Gang सुमिरे व्यास भाष्य करता देवी कथा प्रसन्न जासुंदे मति मति विषय स्थित जो जगमात मति ना लेखत जही रूप को माति प्रेरक ज्ञान से praise the man. Come on. सकल निगम उत सामानी प्रिले का जगवान मातु भवानी के चरण नमो नमा सुख कान गौरी शंभु गिरा गुरु गोविंद गणपति गंग सुमिरे व्यास भाष करता देवी कथा प्रसन्न करुणा चंद्र क्षीर दया माया कर अनुकुश अनुपाश मंदा हस्य युद्ध भक्त के कथाता सब त्रास श्री शंकराचार्य आरु माता पिता शिरनाय देवी भागवत ग्रंथ के भाषा लिखत बनाया गौरी शंभु गिरा गुरु गोविंद गणपति गंग गौरी शंभु गिरा गुरु गोविंद गणपति गंग श्री आदि शक्ति माता की जय. Dear God, dear Mother, please allow me the opportunity to listen to your holy discourse, to learn, to benefit. Mother, may you please allow me to remember what I am about to hear. That is what that prayer is talking about. Tonight, we enter into chapter 3, book 9 of Devi Bhagwat. Last night in our discourse, we heard where the Mool Prakriti, the Devi, now formed, is with Krsna. And conception had happened within her body. And the egg that we sometimes hear about in different discourses, in different places, in different sects of Hinduism, where they refer to the egg as the source of creation. It is everything, the atoms, the energy is inside the egg, and it starts to flow out and creation flourish from in the egg. The egg is now created. And when the egg, after many manvantar, after many thousands of years had passed, mother brings forth the egg. But when seeing the egg and not seeing the face or the features of a child, a baby, she becomes very dejected and angry somewhat. Radha throws the egg into the water that had formed in this universe that we here referred to, where Lord Vishnu is lying on the ocean, as it were. That water now, she throws the egg away. And we heard where Krishna gives that Devi a shrap, that all the different forms, yourself and all the Devis and Devatas that will come from you as you expand yourself, will not be able, because of this act that you have done where you throw away the child, you are not going to be able to foster or to have children. We have come across this in different discourses at different moments. Why is it like that? We heard how from this moment now, the egg is there, floating on the water, tottling left and right, spinning. And Krishna continues to create The Devi starts to separate her body. Different forms are coming. And tonight now, we continue where Narad Muni wants to know more. What is this egg about? What is happening with this egg and what else happened with Lord Krishna? Please explain to me the creation. Explain to me the role that this Prakriti, that mother who expands herself in different forms, how did she do that? What is happening? What is the true picture of the creation? And in it, we will hear of something called Mahavirat. You hear of this form in Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna is given the drishti, the eyesight, the divine eyesight, to see Lord Vishnu in his massive form, where he has endless heads, endless eyes, endless nose, endless features. And Arjuna is looking on. Tonight, please listen if you have the benediction, if you have the blessing to be able to listen to this, consider yourself blessed. As you will hear for yourself, it is not a discourse that pundits venture into quite often, because it is of a different category. It takes the person, it stretches their mind, because it is beyond what we conceive, what we can understand. It goes beyond what we understand. So sometimes when we hear Ganesh Baba has an elephant head because Shiv Baba cut it off. But then there's a katha where Shani Dev caused the head to fall. Then there is a discourse where Krishna takes incarnation as Ganesh. And you're wondering, but how come there are different forms, different moments, different... It is as if, okay, so how did he lose it? That this way, that way? Then you will hear, and I'm using Ganeshan as an example. There is a green form of Ganapati. There is a four-handed form of Ganapati. Hidamba Ganapati, five-headed form. Red form, Sindura Ganapati. And Uchista Ganapati. Gray, sometimes gray, but black is the correct look of the Murti. Where did all these Ganesh, when did this happen? There's so much for us to learn. Is it that there are a million Ganapati? It seems so sometimes, because you will hear Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Each name come from a katha, it come from something. Padmanabhya, the person who has the lotus going from the navel. We know that katha. We are going to hear about what grows from his navel shortly. Then you will hear about his eyes are like lotus, because of the katha where he was offering the lotus flowers to Shiv Baba, and when Lord Shiva teeth one of the flowers to test him. What will you do when your prayers does not go the way you want it to go? He says, well, I've heard people say my eyes are like lotus flowers. I'm missing one. I must finish my prayer. I am going to take out my eye and offer it to Lord Shiva. Nothing is going to stop me. And Lord Shiva tells him, hold, I was testing you. And this is where Lord Vishnu gets the Sudarshan Chakra. I'm sure you've heard that discourse before. Tonight, we want to clarify this Mahavirat form. Why is it so big? What is going on? When we hear different versions, like the Ganesh, where he has different heads. For the Sanatanis, for the Hindu, that is reading, that is listening. Let's say you look at your different programs in today's world. We have YouTube channels and we have different things that are portraying your Dharma. We must get clarity. We must go beyond what we know. Hinduism is not just Lord Krishna and his story in the Bhagavad Gita with Arjuna. It is not just Ram. It is not just the Ramayana. There's so much more, because those things happen inside one kalp. Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug. One kalp. That is the passage of time for one cycle. In one universe, in this place that you and I call home. Tonight, you're going to hear how big the creation is. And at the very onset, as we get into this thing tonight, I would like to ask you to consider what I say. In today's world, we have telescopes, we have many things, many tools, and still developing in the process to see into the depths of space, to shoot radio waves into space and to see what's coming back. Now we have that. In these times, millions and thousands of years ago, different, how you call it, different yuga. Please don't take it lightly. Millions of years, it is possible. How did these munis have this vision to talk about cosmos and galaxies when we did not know in human years, let's say 2000 years ago, how big? I grew up in a time when one of the planets was Pluto. For those of you looking on, correct me. In the outer ring, I remember in the atlas, in our school books, in this one solar system that is part of the galaxy, one, just one, the outer ring, we thought Pluto was a planet, and now in our lifetime, it was disproven because of the features. This is not a whole planet. The moon is not a planet. It is a floating object, but it does not fit the criteria. It doesn't have certain things. But the vision, my point is, the vision of these astrological bodies physically in recent times is developing, I agree. But when you journey back in time, so many years ago, doesn't it beckon a little bit? It does tickle your brain a little. How these men and them know about that? How did they know about these things? And then when you get and you start to listen to your Dharma, then you realize how much more Sanatan Dharma is, how vast, how intricate. When the world did not know, for example, about the science of talking to the baby in the womb, in the belly, we hear in Mahavirat that Arjun would speak to his son in the belly and teach him the art of war. Parikshit's father is taught within the womb, and when he's born upon the earth, Abhimanyu has the teaching didn't finish, and that causes him to die. But he grew, he came with, let me say, 75% of what needed, what Arjun had. He had it because he listened from in the belly. No science is telling you to do that. In my life, I remember growing up, we did not want to know about Saijan. Those of you watching in Guyana, how do you call that? In English, we say moringa. We did not want to know about Saijan or wood. I think they call it wood vegetable in different parts. But when in the Western world somebody rediscovers the scientific benefit of this particular herb that is used in some varieties of Kali Mata Puja, where they make bhaji with the leaves, and they would offer. Have you ever done that in your country or in your practice? Have you ever made Saijan or moringa bhaji and offered it to the Devi? Because of the bitterness, because of the iron content, it is considered a great herb, amongst other things. And it was the practice before we could have dissected the leaf to see with experiment what is this plant capable of. Hindus were offering it long ago, to the point we started to forget the value of it. Then the world comes back and says, in the Western world, if you use moringa, it will help you. Now the moringa looking like Bachak attack it because everybody want the leaf, everybody want the fruit, they want the flowers, they want the branch to make soap, to make drinks, to use it in different ways. Because now we know the value. But dear friends, this is what is the feature of Kali Yuga. In another Yagya, I will sit with you with MahaPuran to go through Kali Yuga at a different depth. And we'll spend some more time how we could overcome some of the hardships, some of the pain and the predicaments we sometimes experience. We are here, but we don't give up the fight. We don't say, okay, it's Kali Yuga, and because it's Kali Yuga, we have to catch with the tail or be sick or whatsoever. No. We use our prayer. We use our sadhana. For the person who is a Devi Bhakt tonight, if somebody comes and says, well, this entire world is meant to give trouble. It's written. Last night we heard that the lady in charge of all the cheating and all that, there's an energy that fuels, that gives people who are living the unrighteous life a certain amount of prosperity. It is as if they are striving and we trying to do the good. We not as lucky as them. That is real. That is a form of the prakriti, because the energy truly is the energy of all. God isn't God only for good. God is God for all. It have children who do good with the life that God give them, and likewise it have people who just do bad. God is the judge. And when the person takes the energy, the breath that God gives, and you do bad, and we are all sinners, then you have to atone for that karma. So the person might say, well, Kali Yuga, we supposed to be sickly, we supposed to be going through all forms of pressure, bad attacking we, and why bother? It's the signs of the times, as it is saying in other religion. Sanatana says, regardless, sadhana is a prayer method. Some people jab, some people control the speech, some people control their salt, some people control diet, in other words. Some people control their thoughts in different ways. People do good karma, praschit karma, to counteract bad karma. You don't give up. You do not. If you are the type that you are saying, you know what, I have faith in God, I believe in Durga, for example, when things are going good, but you see when the doctor tells me something wrong in the blood report, I wonder if Durga could handle that, boy. I wonder if that little Murti could handle. Then you don't have faith. The same Durga in Markandeya Puran, when Vashish Muni, who is the godfather of Sri Ram, when he is praying and writing all the prayers for mother, and we said it the first time, I'm repeating now, he says, mother, I want my faith, if it happened to go down, pull it up. She says, I will come in the matrika form and I will give you trouble. He says, mother, why you go give me trouble? I'm doing prayers. She says, son, if some people don't have trouble, they're going to have to pray. So mother is mother for all. And when the person seeing the test, seeing the hardship, seeing the trouble, takes to their sadhana, learns about the prayer, whether you call it havan, your job, your fasting, whatever is you. Today, there are many people getting ready with their murti and offering the prasad, and you are trying to do what? Change your current situation. This is where, with the knowledge that we are talking about, with these things, understanding her more and more. This year we are talking about this. Next year we will talk about something else. And so it goes, so that in this religious course that we are now in, the subject matter is your prayer. You understand the machine called Durga Mata. Then you could utilize the machine to get to the end point. To get, when you understand how to put the car in drive, you could move forward. But if you don't know how to start the car, if you don't know how to program the car, how far will you reach? Kali Yuga, the person may be in the car. Understand what Kali Yuga is? I may be in the car. I could close the door, put on the seatbelt, but boy, I press in the air condition button instead of turning the ignition or pressing the ignition key. I am confused. I am lost. She's there. This is my vehicle that will transform me and transfer me from the troubles I am in to a state of happiness and comfort and tranquility. But I don't know how to activate this lady and her blessings. This is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is being so close you can touch, and still ignorance of her is leaving you at a disadvantage. I hope you understand this point at the very introduction of our discourse tonight. If you are looking on, please send me a message. Let me know where you are from. Sitaram to everybody. God blessings to everybody. The moon changed today and we are in the Ashtami. We are in this Tithi going into tomorrow. Today is Durga's Ashtami, and this is why I wanted to read. Tomorrow is from the Ashtami now, it's going to be Naumi, and very early on Monday morning, Naumi is going to close. And the Vijay Dashmi will start. So people are going to close off their vrat on Monday morning. For some people who maybe just for convenience, you will see some people closing off tomorrow as well. So this reading is timed with that closing off ceremony to support you, regardless who is the Baba, who is your Pujari, who is your guide. If it is just a personal prayer, I wanted to supplement that with Mother's knowledge. Let's enter now. As Narad Muni says, Prabhu, please tell me, please give me more information. Tonight, Sachin bring out the drum. And he only say a prayer to him. He tired. We doing puja whole day today and we going all over the things. He and his sister come and we're going to knock drum tonight. No violin and sitar. Say hello to them. Say the watching the live. Say something to them. Bless them. We need blessings just like you, you know. We need energy. Trust me. I am running on coffee because we going and we tired. But I love this. I love my Lord and I love my work and I'm training these children to follow. In my life, in my personal life, as you're understanding me a little bit, this is my son and this is my daughter. The Nandi children, but I borrowed them. And with them, I just get to do all my reading. There is have patience with the mamu, because the mamu, my niece in particular, and I love them. So tonight, bless them. For those of you looking on, bless them. Because he and she are getting the support to do what I want to do. Tonight, let me sing a little bit as this children looking drum and thing to help you as we celebrating tonight. When you're getting ready to close off, she worship. And the energy, and you know what I'm talking about. You're doing your prayers and you know the emotion inside of you, the yagna. When you do it right, you're feeling like something getting ready to close off. You know something getting ready to leave. And oh God, tomorrow me I go be in this. Tomorrow me I go be here. Tomorrow me I go get to touch that murti. Tomorrow me I go get to char Hawi. Me I go get to bring flowers. If done properly, you will feel it. And I put in you in the light. So if you happen to go to a temple or to your puja or to your worship, check yourself. See if you're doing it correct. Maybe Keshava will sit down to the back of the temple. And me are going to touch that murti. Me are going to pick up flowers in my yard. The flowers I make for that. The flowers is for Keshava to watch in the yard, but never to take it and take it to her. That is not what it makes for. That is how my mind works. I hope your mind is better than mine. I'm limited. Be limitless when you're doing her worship. Let's join together as Sri Hari Vishnu is talking. Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam, 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 Jaya Samba Sada Shiva tab sharanam. Those of you looking on, help me sing a little bit. Sing with me, sing it. Jai Bole Baba. Come on, Jai Bole Baba. He's happy when you're singing about Mother and you're chanting her name. He celebrates, he's rocking in Kailash, just listening to your prayer. Ata dhibho jalatishna brahmana vyata ye tatpar Kale sastal dvijyate bhuta bhava bhavaye aati Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya bole Baba Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva tab sharanam Tam dvijaye shishuye yascha Shatakoti vipraye bhavaruru Yamscha stiti par dithyate Shrunuyati tam ye ati Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya bole Baba tab sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Tab Sharanam. Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. He says, "Oh Dev Rishi, the egg that was born, that comes from the body of the mole Prakriti, that egg is tottling and floating in the waters that came from her body when she was held by Krishna. And male and female copulate, they come together. They come together in sexual union to create the transfer of energy from male to female has happened, and instead of a body being formed, a golden egg was formed, and this is now cast onto the water. Mother doesn't want it, and Krishna went close to it. Why? Because from that egg came a powerful child, very lustrous, beaming as if in chapter 3, verse 1 and 2, beaming as if millions of suns, lightwise, coming out of the egg as the shell cracked. This little boy that is in the egg is glowing. This child could not suck, he could not get the mother's milk to nourish. He was forsaken, and for this reason, he was so tired of hunger. In the moment the child starts to cry, the child starts to bawl, and he becomes loud. And for the first time here now, countless, this child is going to become the Lord of countless universes. Brahmanda. There is a text called Brahmanda Puran. And the idea of multiverse, last time we spoke about it, multiverse is given in that text and Bhavishya Puran. It's mentioned here, it's in the creative process. That he is the regulator, he is the holder of all these different universes, sitting in his body, on his body, now and often. Having no father close to him, no mother close to him, began to look upward out of the water, helter skelter. His body became known as Mahavirat, and he started to grow, he started to become bigger with the tail. Through the body of the mole Prakriti Devi in her true essence. This Mahavirat is 1/16, 1/16, one part. Imagine we take a pizza, we cut it into 16 pieces, 16 slices. One slice is this Mahavirat of Krishna. If Krishna be the whole pizza, one slice is this little boy, piece of him. He is a part of Krishna, but he is not the main. He is the sole holder of the universe, and for this reason he is called Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu. In every pore of his body, there sat an entire solar system, an entire universe. Let's just say, what's the palm of your hand? And imagine every pore, there's a universe with a sun in the middle or the star, and the planets are going around in motion. Different forms of life live on each planet. Different types of elements make up the matter, the stones, the waters, the air, etc. Each pore of this individual is holding a universe, so much that even Krishna could not count all of them. When Krishna did come close to him when he's crying, if it were possible to count the number of dust particles that exists in this world, so much more harder it would be to count the amount of universes that are being created on the body of this child. There is endless amounts of Brahma, not Mahavishnu, Vishnu, Maheshwar. In each universe, there is the Trinity for each one. Let's say that again. God is splitting himself in different forms. And in this Mahavishnu form, he is Mahavirat, the same person. In his pores, Imagine the sun and the different planets, and there's one here, let me call it solar system, universe A. Our universe is B. Over here have a universe C, and all have their version of Brahma, Shiva. So it have a Brahma over here, it have a Brahma over here, etc. Multiverse, multiple universe existing at the same time, endless amounts. These Brahmanda, each cosmos, extended in different region of the person's body, and for this reason now the different loks were formed. If a person is familiar with Vaikuntha, because we look up and we're not seeing anything in space, we're not seeing anything. If Vaikuntha is high, where Mahavishnu lives on the water, on Sheshnag as we know it, Golok, the home of Krishna, is multiplied 50 based on verse 9 and 10 of chapter 3. The maths where they put here, they say 50 koti yojan, or 50 multiplied by 10, by 500, 500 multiplied by 4, 2000, 2000 multiplied by 2 now, 4,000 million miles from Vaikuntha higher. You will then find Golok, the place where we pray that when my soul leaves the body, bless me to reach thee. Golok Dham is eternal, Krishna is eternal, and the world where we call Golok, they are describing how much water, different Upadweep, different islands are present in this place. This is the place where a person dreams starting. This place, Golok, is higher than the earth, higher than Brahmlok, higher than all the different lokas, the 7 heavens as they call it, and the 7 patal. This is below Golok. Just as there is the earth, Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Janna, Tapa, Satyam above, and then you have patal, satal, and different below, the different lower loks. In when this Brahmanda, now all that is in one cosmos, dissolves, everything is destroyed except Golok. And the Mahavirat, he is permanent. That child, he is permanent. Of course, Krishna is permanent. Just as how bubbles on the seawater, listen to the analogy here. The bubble is the cosmos that is sitting in the little child. Pause. Just as how you will see the bubble in the wave, see the bubble, and then bubble pop. And the wave will turn and maybe a bubble will form back. Likewise, these universes are temporary. They exist for a time. And just as the bubbles on the surface of the seawater, they last for a time and then pop. Until such time they are recreated by the turbulence or the creative process of the wave. Just as the water remains permanent, whether the bubble is there or the bubble is not there, the seawater, the wave, the crashing of the wave. Likewise, Mahavirat, the child that comes from Krishna and Prakriti, that child, Devi and Krishna, is permanent. They don't go anywhere. But you will hear of something called Mahapralay. When does Mahapralay come? Satyuga. Where's the next one? How it go? Treta, Dwapar, Kaliyug. When Kaliyug done, before Satyuga start back, everything is reabsorbed by Mahavirat, by Mahavishnu with the endless heads and so on. Pull back inside, and then the creation starts forward. Satyuga start back. That is the Sanatana Dharma. What to speak of when Krishna cannot count the amount of Brahmanda. In every Brahmanda, in every cosmos, there is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Oh Narad, in each Brahmanda, there are Indra, there is Parvati, there is Sati, there is all of these things. There is Digpal, Digpati. Digpal, rule of the quarters. The devatas that rule the different directions. When somebody is bowing to the east, bowing to the north, maybe in the wedding ceremony, we've seen people do that. Who are they bowing to? In Bhulok, in each different universe. You will come across the Brahmin, the Kshatri, the Sudra, the Vaish. In Patal, you will hear of different type of sap or nagas. These universes, each one exists composed of movable and non-movable things. It is called Brahmanda Vritti, or the knowledge, the science of this. O Narad, now the Vidat Purusha, little boy, began to look up the sky again and could not see anything beyond the egg where he was. He couldn't see anything. And he becomes despondent, angry, like a child, a newborn, crying, trouble. Before we go forward, consider this. Narayana, 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 Narayana. Narad Muni is given a Ashram that he has to move from place to place to place. And it is believed that the person who writes, as a side note, the person who writes Spider-Man fashions Silver Surfer behind some of the stories of Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the lover, the worker, the emissary of Lord Vishnu. And the Silver Surfer is the worker that goes and visits worlds to worlds, universe, cosmos, for this eater of worlds to come. He's recycler. Likewise, when think was in, if Narad Muni is going from world to world, universe to universe, Prabhu in different kata, Prabhu, I have journeyed so many different cosmos. Where are you coming from, Narad? I am coming from this, I am coming from that, I am going. If it was only our universe that existed, when we see, because of man's advancement now, about the Milky Way and the galaxy and the different solar systems, what would be the explanation for those things? And when we hear that Narad is going from one universe to the next, to the next, to the next, that he is traveling and he's going quickly from one place to the next, that he just thinks about it based on our discourses. If we had only 8 or 9 planets, one solar system, one sun, one moon, one set of planets, one Jupiter, one Mars, etc., how much travel could he travel? How much places would he have to travel if it is just one solar system? So the idea that this person is going from vast reaches of space and seeing different things and different forms of life, different creations, different things unfolding, and he's in awe. Understand what this is describing is what Narad Muni is discovering. What we are talking about here is the reality, the history of what Narad Muni goes to see, and he comes back to where Lord Vishnu, the Mahavirat, where he's lying on Sheshnag, and all the creation he's watching as it is unfolding. He is called what? The sustainer. How is he the sustainer? All the universe is sitting in his body, and he is sustaining, holding it up, and allowing it through the Prakriti, through the Devi, to power it and run it, the different magnetic force, gravitational force, sound energy, light energy, etc. He is the sustainer. Narad Muni reached back and he says, Prabhu, I saw this. Prabhu, I saw that. I know you are the creator of everything. And dear God, I'm so happy, I'm so in awe, and I am never finished learning. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita Gyana Prapta Taradaitya Krishna Parama Purusham Tato Dadarshate Traye Brahma Jyoti Hamanatam Niveyati ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Becoming distressed with hunger, he cried out repeatedly and became overcome with anxiety. What is happening? Who is here? Who is going to take care of me? Like a child. In the next moment, he lost consciousness, and after some time regained consciousness. He began to think of that energy that is invisible with his knowledge, the unseen God. He thinks of the Purusha, the person that is managing the creation. And there Krishna takes form, deep blue form, two-handed, wearing yellow clothing, with a gentle smile, flute in hand, and he seems very anxious. He wants to help all his devotees. Looking at the Lord, looking at his father, the boy became happy and smiled. And Prabhu, bestower of boons, granted him at that moment, O child, let you possess the knowledge of this universe, the reality, time, the ability to understand creation, true creation, everything that is happening. Let you possess the knowledge like myself. Let your hunger and thirst vanish and never return. Let you be the holder of all the cosmos from now until the time of MahaPuran, when all the universal matter has to be recycled and reformed. Be without selfishness, always be fearless, so that the time comes for you to save the creation. Enter into the creation via an alms, a little portion of your body. You would do it. O bestower of boons, do not allow old age, death, disease, sorrow, or any ailment afflict you. I bless you. And just as when we have in the sanskar, when the baby born, postnatal, after birth, and the father is whispering prayer in the air, Krishna whispers prayer into his child's ear, the six-syllable mantra, Om Shri Krishnaya Swaha. That prayer which is worshipped by the Vedas and the Angas, giver of desires, destroyer of trouble and calamity. He gave him that mantra in his ear, and he told you use this energy to do what needs to be done for the benefit of life. O Narad, thus given the mantra, Krishna arranged for food to come to him. In every universe, whatever offering that is being given to Krishna, whenever somebody says Krishna Arpan, when somebody says I offer this in his name, 1/16 goes to the Lord of Vaikuntha, Mahavishnu, and 15 shares of the 16 goes to this little boy. So the Vishnu that is in every universe, 1/16, one slice in the pizza. But the Mahavirat, the Mahavishnu that is bigger, holding all the universe together, he gets 15 out of the 16 slices. I hope you're understanding me. If you are, please send me a message. Children, I'm monitoring the chat. They will tell me. If you have a question, please send me the question. Krishna did not allot anything for himself. He transcends, and this, when somebody says, I am reading verse 31 of chapter 3, he transcends the gunas. It is not that he is doing the work to get. When somebody says God doesn't want anything, this is the difference. This is the heights of creation. You don't hear, for example, in different kata, the devatas couldn't do havan, so Indra and others became very weakened. They won the offering so that they would get nourishment. But then higher than that, Krishna is unaffected by the prayer. There are people who will pray for good, and then they're doing the same prayer. And you might have people who praying on other people for them to fall, die, harm, lost the land in the court, but they pray. Krishna is beyond that, and he does not claim any of the offerings for himself. Instead, whatever people offer in devotion, the Lord of Lakshmi, the Mahavirat, eats all of these. Bhagwan Shri Krishna giving us the Virat, the boon, the mantra. O child, say what more you desire. I will grant this for you immediately. The child replies, hearing the words of Krishna, O omnipresent Krishna, I have got no desires. Whatever, save this, as long as I am around, so long as I am in existence, allow me to have devotion or bhakti to your feet. Allow me to worship your feet. In doing so, allow me to become Jivan Mukt. Allow me to be your Bhakt. Allow me to be better than foolish people. Foolish people are distracted and they are like walking dead because they are devoid of bhakti, the true essence, the true guide in this world. What is the sense? A person does japa, sacrifice, yagna, puja, holding fast, observing different things, going, walking the yatra, tirtha, pilgrimage, doing all these different virtuous acts, and they are doing it without any bhakti to this Krishna, who is the source of everything. In this life, it is as if his life is vain. It is as if this life is considered to be without any merit, under whose grace he has accorded and afforded not only you and I, but the Mahavirat, Mahavishnu, Brahma, everybody is created now from his will. It is only sensible that we pay homage to him. If we go into Garud Puran and the person listens to the value of chanting the name of Krishna, I and you might have, value for the name of Mahadev, the name of Durga. But why is it when Shraddha is being done, when Anteshti Sanskar is being done, the name Krishna becomes so popular or so favored? It's because of this. He is permanent. Everything else comes from him. So the person, by chanting his name, gains blessing. The person who has his grace, you could get forgiveness from everything, anything. You would have to go through a growing process, but it is possible. It is his grace that gives a person life. Then why would you waste this life in needless, frivolous things? He is endowed with Shakti. Last time we spoke about what Shakti means. Shakti, as long as the Paramatma resides within the body. That Paramatma is another name for Krishna. When the Paramatma leaves the body, the Shakti goes with him. Shakti is the mother. For the people who, talk about manifesting, we talked about manifesting last time. From unseen to seen is manifesting. But people put different meaning to manifest. Manifest for some people mean that God, still unseen, is present inside somebody. But that is not what the text says. If mother loves her children, who is she tied to? Is the Purusha or the Krishna. When he leaves, when the Paramatma leaves, when that Atma leaves the body, it could be who, it could be how great the Shakti or the life force, the air, the stomach, the heart, everything, consciousness goes with him. She follows him, sitting in the body. Dear, O great Muni, when the soul, when the universal soul is the leading force, the Prakriti that transcends all creation, she follows him. In saying this to the Virat, that little boy stayed quiet. Krishna then spoke sweet words. He says, "O child, let you remain fresh like me till, for eternity. Always be energetic, always be mild, always be happy. You will not have any fall, even if innumerable Brahma pass away. Brahma has a lifespan. Brahma days are numbered. It changes when the sansar is changing. Let you divide yourself and turn into smaller Virat in every universe. Become the Vishnu, the Shiva, and the Brahma to guide that universe. Let Brahma spring from your navel and start to create things in that cosmos. From the forehead of Brahma, let the Rudra come, the one who destroys the creation. He is the person who, when people talk about destruction, we sometimes, oh, what does that mean? He's bad? No. Everything has a lifespan. Me and you, the best person, we have a point where it is time to go back to God. He is the one who helps you go back to God. The energy will be destroyed, the body will be destroyed, and the energy, the carbon energy, the Jiva energy is recycled in doing the work of the goddess. Kal Agni, destroyer of all Vishwas, all the cosmos. From each subdivision where Lord Vishnu originates, Bhagwan Vishnu, the preserver of this world, the Vishwadeva, comes from this Virat, Mahavirat. I say that under my favor, you will always be full of bhakti. And sooner you meditate on me, I will come to you, my lovely one. There is no doubt of this. Your mother always lives within my chest, my breast, and there is no difficulty for you to see her. Remain here in ease, and I am now going to Golok. Lord Krishna leaves Lord Vishnu lying on this milky ocean. In some texts, an ocean of water. He's floating and he's very tranquil, and he's watching the undulating, the constant creation that is happening in all these different cosmos. He is answering prayers from each form of life. Think if you and I pray now, imagine every universe, how many universes there are for those people that are knowledgeable of these things. Tell me how many prayers do you think is generated, and he is absorbing it. Why is he lying there, sleeping in Chaturmas and different things we talk about? He's rested. He's rested. What is he doing? He is engrossed. He is involved. He is watching. He's the sustainer after all. He is watching and trying to maintain the balance in nature, balance in the weather, balance in the person's lifespan, balance in the womb, because it is Vishnu who goes to look into the womb to meet the newborn that is coming. So much work. He says, you will remain with my bhakt, and your mother will live in my heart. Radha will live in my heart, and it will not be difficult for you to see her. Saying this, Krishna, Lord of the worlds, disappeared, going to his abode. And instantly, Mahavirat, speaking to Brahma and Shiva, which had formed in yesterday's discourse, skilled in the work of creation and destruction. Oh, talking to them as, children, he says, oh child Brahma, go quickly and be born in part from my navel in each of the smaller Vishnu, in each of the individual universe. Go, and when you come from that place, you start the creation. Oh child Mahadev, let's hear what he says to this one. Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana. Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana. लंबोदर हे गजानना, लंबोदर हे गजानना, लंबोदर गज विचारना, विचारना. पाहि 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 गजानना, पार्वती नंदा. Mahavira loka kope Brahmanda goloke jalla Bhavaye chal virat drishti par hai Virat desho suvrataha Pahi 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 Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana. He says, oh Ishwar, go born from the forehead of each Brahma. When he is created and he's thinking about that energy coming together, that will be when you start to do that Mahatandav dance. And Shiva is calling upon the energy and he's manipulating the Prakriti and he's getting ready to destroy all that was built. Only Shiva could do that. He is the person charged with the destruction, breaking of all matter, down to the molecular level. Go, O Ishwar, but be careful, because I'm reading verse 50, because of how powerful you are, do not forget to practice great amount of austerity. Ishwara pragata jagata nato vira ramma vidya sutaha janama 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 brahman nitya par Shiva 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 Dayak Pahi 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 Gajanana. Just share my Lambo Darhe Gajanana Lambo Darhe Gajanana Lambo Dar Gaj Vicharana Lambo Dar Gaj Vicharana Pahi 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 Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. He says, oh Ishwar, you are like a weapon. You know, one day I was doing puja and somebody says to me, of all the devatas, we hear of all the calamity, the troubles that Indra Dev caused. Kamdev was punished by Lord Shiva. Sati Mata gets angry. Radha Mata went in Krishna Katha and she tells of the time, understand where Radha talked, where she's coming now. In that discourse, she's upon the earth and she tells them, when you hear somebody talking about Lagan and the different yoga, Radha Mata, because she's the Prakriti, she is the Devi, she understands time. She is the one who teaches about time. When she's talking to Nanda Baba, when she's talking to Yashoda and she's thinking about her Krishna and she cannot be together with him, it is an yearning that cannot be described, that cannot be understood by you and I with our mortal limitations. It is beyond sexual union. It is beyond, it is as if, just as the positive side of the magnet has to pull the negative without any delay, without any second thought, this is how Radha wants her Krishna. And in that moment, she starts to teach them about different things about this universe. He says, oh Shiva, you need to sit down and be constantly observing austerity. Do different type of vrat. Why? Why is he constantly in this way? Because he is considered to be a weapon. He is created to cause mass destruction. If you awaken the true potency of Shiva, he is the one that brings about the separation now of the atoms that have joined together to make the different types of matter that exist in this universe. For this reason, Lord Shiva is always holding the mudras in his hand. and he's always practicing the breathing exercises, sitting in Sukhasana and Padma and he's constantly engaged in that type of what? Looking on at the Mahavirat, looking on at all the different going on, happenings in the universes that exist. Lord Shiva is engrossed and engaged in seeing all that Lord Vishnu is doing in this form where he is lying on the sea, on the ocean. And for a long, long time, oh child Mahadev, you become engaged in this type of worship. And Mahavirat, Mahavishnu in this form, releases Brahma and Shiva to go and take form now in each one of the cosmos that existed on the body of Lord Mahavishnu, or the great Virat, the child that comes from the egg. On the other hand, the Virat, the child, laid floating on the water that existed because of Radha, because of the Prakriti. This holder of all the different universes laid there, every pore of his body holding a cosmos, a universe, a combination of solar systems. And in this youthful form, he is having a yellow dhoti, bluish hue, and it is as if he's sleeping because the eyes are physically closed and he's engrossed in the development of the creation. Brahma took birth in each of the cosmos from his navel, and after he took birth, he started to, as we hear in this course, he starts to look for where the lotus flower, he comes from the lotus flower, and then he's looking for where did this lotus flower start to grow? Who is my father? And the whole Leela is unfolding again. He starts a search for the root of the stem of this lotus flower, and for 100 yug he's looking and he cannot find the end of that flower, until such time the anxiousness leaves him when he thinks of Krsna, and Krishna reveals to Brahma that you are a part of a little piece of this universe. You are a portion of this universe, that this creative process, whilst the Virat is sitting on the watery bed in the bigger scope, in the bigger climax, the Prakriti is working through you, through Brahma. Brahma says, make the sun rise, and she will allow light to form. Let the waves crash, and she will allow the sound of the wave clapping in the seashore. And in this way, he says, this is your job, O son. As Brahma is traveling and he sees all the different regions, the different universe, the different multiverse, and he's understanding that some are now forming, and he sees himself talking and working in a different place. Shiva, Vishnu is working and different things are happening. Brahma is learning what he's expected to do. And when he was granted, your father, O Narad Muni, when he was granted the boons like this, the vision to see what in different universe, what was already running, this is how a tree looks, this is where the sun looks, this is how it have to be. Then Brahma got to work and he started to create. And from the mind of your father, in each of the solar systems, came Sanak and the 4 brothers. From his forehead, the 11 Rudras. From his left side came different forms of creation. From his right hand side, from his nostrils, from his eyes, different forms are happening. And your father, O Narad Muni, became very engaged in creating the universe, whether it is mobile, non-mobile, animate, inanimate, whether it is the heavenly region, Mrityolok, Patal region, sitting on that lotus flower from that Vishnu, from that Virat. This is where all the universes started to spring, and springing up and then developing as time is passing in each universe. One Brahma, one Vishnu, one Shiva was created for each one. In each place. Thus, O Narad Muni, this is how the Purusha, what we are saying is Krishna, and the Prakriti, which we said in the beginning of our discourse, in our Yagna, was mother that is separated. She is molded and she is causing the creation by the supporting of the Purush. They work together. Some people have it in their mind, and I said it in the beginning, that Krishna is alone, that Shiva is alone, that Devi is alone. But the energy works in unison, together. And whilst we might have our favorite form, whilst everybody is drawn to a particular deity, worship, but understand, do not get bogged down in only the murti. Remember, at the beginning, I started to talk about how people are getting confused, that I have to buy a murti, I have to make a murti, and the murti becomes your end all. That's God. But God is bigger than that. The Devi, the Prakriti is bigger than that. When somebody says, I only want to worship Durga, but I don't like to worship Kali, or I like to worship Kali, I don't like to worship Durga, or some other form, then you don't understand the true nature of the Prakriti. That she was more than that. In each universe, Mother is taking form for the Navratri. And we are worshipping truly the energy that exists in the dialite or the coconut, the jiv, the energy that lives inside the seed. Why do you use that coconut? It's because of the life that is present. As we have discussed, and this is where I am pausing in Devi Bhagwat, so that having discussed what is Shakti, what is Bhagwati, what is Bhagwan, the giver of Bhaga, and auspicious things, I wanted to bring to you the knowledge that you could approach your God a little better. Now, before we conclude, let us join from the Chandi part tonight as we are setting on the Ashtami. Let's pray together. Please join your hands and pray as we are in chapter 82 of the Markandeya Puran in the Chandika part, where the entire Navratri section is being delivered. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaya Rupena Samstita Namastasye, Namastasye, Namastasye. Shakti Rupena Samsita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. I'm singing this. I'm chanting this prayer for those people that can't go to the temple. For people that didn't understand why we are saying this. When somebody says, Mother, we bow to you because you are the appetite that lives in all creatures. Mother, you are the forgiveness that lives in all creatures. You are the sleep that lives in all creatures. Think about what you're saying when you're doing her puja. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Krishna Rupena Samsita Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Shamarupena Samsita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Jati Rupena Samstita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Lajjarupena samsita. Namastasye, 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 namo namah. Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu shanti rupena samsita. Namastasye, namastasye, namastasye. What does Brahma do in this Chandika part? He says, Mother, you are Shanti. He took the Prakriti, he took the unseen energy, he takes her, and just like you in the kitchen, you take the flour, you take the dough, and you knead it, you'll make bread. You knead it, you could make pulori. You could knead it, you could make roti. That same dough, he takes the energy. Mother, you are the ability for a person to feel at peace, for a person to feel happy, for a person to sleep, for a person to find mercy, for a person to forgive. Mother, you are the energy, the currency that I use to make all these things possible in the different cosmos at different time. You are active. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. Understand what the prayer says and sing with me tonight as we chant the prayer for the mother on this Ashtami night. It says the person who prays to her tonight, tomorrow, this day will finish. Tonight, if you cannot do the vrat for the entire Navratri, do tonight. Worship tonight, and you will get the blessing as if you had done the entire Navratri vrat. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shraddharupena Samsita. Namastasye, namastasye, namo namah. What he's saying? He says, Mother, I took you. You are the flour. You are the flour. Understand what I'm saying? I'm in the kitchen and I kneaded the flour. Mother, you are the flour that I took and I molded you. And you went into the heart of your children. You stand in some shraddha. You give some people faith. And they could see you in the fig tree. They could see you in the tulsi plant. They could see you, yes, in the murti. But they will see you in the child smiling. They will see you in the kitchen. They will see you in their duty, in their job. Mother, that person have faith because of you. You are all these things. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kranti Rupena Samsita. Namastasye, namastasye. Come on, everybody. Sing from home. Kanti Rupena Samstita. When Mother, I molded you in all the cosmos, you became the splendor, the beauty. When the girl is pregnant and somebody says she's glowing, when the girl is happy, husband is doing his job, husband is supporting her, children are making her proud, and her body starts to radiate that energy, that glow. You are the cause of that. That is your form, Mother. Mother, you are Lakshmi Rupena Samsita. You are the prosperity that when somebody say Barakat, who is the Barakat? If you tonight only worship her in this form, you are missing Mother when she's in all the different places in your life and you are losing sight. He says, Mother, you are the prosperity that every creature in every universe needs in order to become successful. Mother, I made you into that. I molded you into that. Mother, you are that prosperity. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsita. Namastasye, 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 namo namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti, remember, Sha refers to the auspiciousness, and the T, that means the energy, the ability, the power to allow a person to go into Mangalam, happiness and joy. Mother, you are that uplifting force that could bring a person out of depression, anxiety, hardship, when nobody's words could help a person. You allow a person to come out of that darkness. You are Shakti. You are Dhriti. You are the intellect of an individual. Guiding, for example, when the place is getting cold and the birds have to migrate. When the bear gets up from his slumber, or he has to go back into his slumber. When the fishes are getting ready, like the trout in different parts of the world, and they have to swim upstream just to reproduce. Who gives them that intellect, that maternal and that instinct, that animal instinct? You are the Vritti. You are that mother. You are the energy. Oh, Prakriti, your form are so many. Not only in this form, but you dance and you pervade over this creation. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Smriti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Dhaya Rupena Samstita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Ma, you are the daya. You are the ability to have compassion or pity. When inside a person, do I have to be related to you to show compassion? For a mother, couldn't you be a mother for your children and the children of somebody else? You are seeing wars where children are being murdered and slaughtered, and you don't have that pity inside of you. Is the God working inside of you? How could I worship this form? But when children are being slaughtered, you don't have a heart to cry, to mourn, to grieve. One mother could cry, but you as a mother, that's not my race, that's not my religion, that is not my fight. My children are fat and well fed, but once I do her puja, I don't care about nobody. Our Durga doesn't work like that. But this lady says, I give you that maternal love, that when that is activated within you, whether it is yours, whether it is an animal, whether it is what, that pity and compassion is there. Brahma is saying, Mother, you give the person that. You are the blood inside of your creation in this form called Daya, working to make the person, striving to lift them, make them better in the form. How pitiful it is if a person only hold on to the mud, the plastic, the brass, this murti, and they offer in there, and they offer in there, but the Durga that is inside of them, they are too blind, limited, and sinful to see it. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nithirupena Samsita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Pushti Rupena Samsita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhuta Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Vi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhranti Rupe Bhranti Rupena Samstita. Mother, you are the feelings, the pain when a person tired, how the body does feel tired. You are the person instinctively telling the person, rest. Think about the older person who doesn't want to sit down. They don't want to believe their mind young, but their body not young, and they don't want to stop. But mother works within them, and she gives them the ability, the warning, maybe the muscle, maybe the body. Something is warning, don't push yourself. You can't catch your breath, hold, rest, wait. Wait, it go heal. Hold on. Hold on. Something is wrong. Think about a person having a cut, and the cut becomes inflamed. You have a cavity. The cavity is lancing, the pain. That is the prakriti. That is the sensation. The nerve endings is rocking the person. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Get to the doctor. Get medicine. Get medicine. Do something. That sensation is an expression of the Devi. Mother, you are Chitti Rupe Yakritasya. Thank you. Chitti Rupe Kritasya. Mother, you are all the above. You are all the organs inside. And you are those things that are pervading externally around all creatures. You are dancing like a wave. I am truly like an egg in this description. We become surrounded by our mother, but we are so limited, like Arjun on the battlefield, when he couldn't see the Virat form with all the head and the mouth, passing time, what is to come, what is not to come. He says in that Gita, we close in Jug, we had to talk about Gita. When he saw the Virat form, he says, but look, Duryodhan, look, Yudhishthir, they are going into the mouth of Lord Vishnu. He's taken back all the creation. It is going back to where it come from. It came from his body. So sometimes people say, what? Lord Vishnu is eating Yudhishthir and Duryodhan? No. Think about it as matter. Atoms joined together to create different things. And when we talk about pralay, everything has to go back to where it come from. And then he will cycle it. Time is passing. Satyuga has to come back and he sends it forward. But in the season of spring, when the flowers have to blossom in other parts of the world, Prakriti is the one who sends the signals. She is the one who triggers the plants, the animals to reproduce, to guide when is sun, when is winter, when is different things happening. When somebody says, as you age, you become wise, who brings the change in your thinking? The person, think about this. You are saying to me, Pandit, it's my body. This is my life, Pandit. You ever see somebody want to climb a flight of step and they cannot do it? Who is the person limiting the body? Who is holding back? The child want to run, but they can't run. They're ready to walk it. When she permits things, things happen. Imagine we live in a place where there's drought. We want rain, but the weather, she's in control. We pray and we beg on the day after Diwali. People do Garbardhan Puja and they do different type of prayer. Mother, please send rain. This is the linkage. This is where now the Hindu starts to worship the vegetation, the land, the sky, the weather, the pattern, the time. Everything comes back to Prakriti, to Devi in different forms. And this is why we do what we do. However, it is apparent that the word Kali Yuga does link to a time. It is indicative of a time when ignorance is rampant and it is pulling down people. Let me give you an example. Tonight, as we're wrapping up, throughout the world, people are getting ready to close off their vrats. Some people did Ganesh Vrat with their murti. Some people have murti for Durga Mata. And they went and did Matikur. Now they went to the bank of the river, got mud, made a murti, best case scenario, did the worship, and they have to take it back to where they get the mud, or at the fresh water. Salt water has the Shram, just as the lady gets the menstrual cycle. When we did Bhagwat, we were talking about the discourse, where does the menstrual cycle come to the human race? And it was brought about the destruction of Vrita, and Indra says, I cannot shoulder this sin, this is for everybody, and I'm summarizing. So the lady got this cycle that in that time she becomes unclean. Trees that give off sap are not allowed in certain prayers. The water, the sea water, has bubbles and foam, and because it is not considered to be appropriate to put inside the kalsa when you have puja, or bathe with when we have different sanskar. So, for example, in our first night when we were talking about the different manifestations of the Prakriti, Ganges water is mentioned, and what her purpose is to remove sin. So you hear people talking about going to the river Ganga and bathing in the river to get blessings. Good. But at least in the West Indian culture, the river Ganga, which is fresh water, becomes salt water. And people talks about going to the sea to do Ganga Puja. Ganga Mata, whilst we are talking about the mixing of rivers and waters and all that, Ganga Mata is fresh water. And when people are doing Kartik Nahan, Kartik Puja, when people are doing different rites, you are supposed to, just like if when people are doing bar or what we call 10 days, when you have the 13 days, we go to the river or we use fresh water. You leave salt water in a container. The scent, the freshness is one of the reasons why it is not suitable for certain prayers. But when a person does not know where am I supposed to go to do a worship, what will happen? What will be the outcome? Indra in that discourse says the water becomes unclean when the suds, when the changing of the tide happens. It is not suitable to begin a vrat how you build with the coconut and the kalsa and all that. It is inauspicious to put that salt water inside there and do, whether sanskar or whatsoever. Then at a minimum, you will see in Kali Yuga, people go to the salt water to go and put the murti. They would make the murti, put the murti in the water, and the current of the water is pushing back the murti on the seashore. It is a global phenomenon that people drop the murti like garbage. And now Hindu people who are supposed to worship the water, worship the earth, are contaminating. In India, in Mumbai, they have to hire an entire fleet of workers to go and clean the beaches with tractors and so on, because people are littering the sea. What is supposed to happen? If you have your murti, you are supposed, and I tell everybody this, whether local or foreign, Trinidad or wherever, you don't need your murti. First of all, you have your murti. You have a murti. If you don't have a murti, at a minimum, what does our text talk about? The kalsa and the coconut is the true murti of the goddess. That is the life inside the coconut. We just perceive her to look like this. But she doesn't only look like this. But the energy that is going, as based on these verses here, that is going to now transfer and change. Energy could change into different forms, into different workings, different endeavors. I worship her in that form, in the coconut. That's why. But when now the person is going, put a tub, put a little pool, the children pool that they just buy for toddlers, full it with water. We want to put river water or even your tap water, if it be that. And you sit down and you mash up that mud. Truthfully, not everybody has access to find such a place. Let's say the place is cold, and you allow this, it could be a little bit of water, I mean, it's left to your discretion. Let it go back into the land in your yard, mud to mud. That is what you are doing. If in a perfect scenario where you get the mud, the person wants to go back there and put down the mud. Mother, I took the mud, I did the prayer, I got through, and look, I bring it back. But if that is not possible, you are returning the mud to the mud. So if it is that you are putting, there's nothing that says, that is like when people say you have to pay a jandi and you put everything in the water. But when the jandi cannot dissolve and it is causing pollution, obstruction, then it is defeating the purpose. What is supposed to happen? You are returning these things to the elements, the fire, the earth. So in some parts of the world, when there are restrictions on the contamination of the water, because Hindu people does overdo it, sometimes we have to bury it, sometimes we have to burn it. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the element of fire is a purifier. The element of earth is an accepting, purifying form. There is nothing that could damage this. It is something that you are returning. So the earth that is in your property, the earth that may be in your potted plant. Now, in the Caribbean, you have a little more leeway. In India, you have a lot of leeway for religious practice. But in different parts of the world, where Hinduism is not a major part of the population, but a minor part, and people don't understand the needs of your religion. Then when you understand your religion and you understand your mother, and this is what I'm saying, and you endeavor to have your clay murti, big or small, then manage your little murti or your big murti correctly. It is not garbage. If you are getting ready to close off and your plan is to go and throw she in the water and that's it, why are you doing this? Wouldn't it be better not to have the murti, to desecrate it in that way, to cause more contamination, to cause more pollution in this world? Don't we have enough of that? Couldn't it be that you do her puja in your, like I have my plastic murti tonight, polished stone murti, marble stone murti, whatever, permanent. Then, if you cannot manage that murti properly, then do your prayer properly, worship her, but understand that Mother is more than just this murti. Mother is more than that. Mother is more than what we perceive her to be, because our understanding is only limited to the time, the light, and the rules that govern this universe. This is our experience. But when you hear in Gurpuran, if you do this sin, you are born back as that, and there is a concept of different abomination, different strange look, lion head, human body, different type of creation that I've never seen in different places. Those forms of life are seen. That is what the Hindu view is. That is what our texts talk about. Look at the scope. And this is why when Oppenheimer creates the atomic bomb, he says, I become Shiva, the god of destruction. When it is Mahavishnu who says, Shiva, keep praying, boy, keep praying, because you are a weapon that if you are let loose upon the universe, you will cause destruction. They use the Devi, the same Devi, the same Prakriti, in a different way now to cause, just as how clouds could bring gentle rain, and same clouds could bring thunderous storms and landslips and flooding, same clouds. The same Devi, the same Prakriti could bring gentle and meek and mild things, and she could bring destruction and hardship, drought. This is why it is imperative when things are going good, get down on your knees and say a prayer. Mother, at a minimum, maybe I can't make the lapsan sohari or the sweet rice or whatever. I can't afford the world of things, but I have a little bit of sugar, or maybe I have a fruit growing on the tree. I have this for you, Mother. Please accept it. I'm giving you something sweet. Bless me, karma, bless me with sweet times. I understand you, I perceive you in this way. But in the Hindu faith, she has so many expressions, as we heard in chapter 1 of this text. Tonight, as I conclude, I hope and I pray that this little time that we have spent together, and whether you're watching me on Sankhya TV, you're watching me on YouTube, you're watching me on the different apps and social media, I hope you walk away with more information about your goddess. My intention is to support your journey with your guru and your pandit, not to replace the individual, please understand that. To support, to supplement, so that you as a person understands the Devi a little more, her purpose, where the story, how it came about, why is it the way it is. When you're listening to the various katha and you're hearing Narad Muni is going from one place to the next, universe to universe, what are they talking about? It is as if he's walking on the body of Mahavishnu and he's seeing all the different places and all the different things that Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu is doing. There's a discourse with Hanuman going to find the ring of Sri Ram. Sri Ram wants to do a bidding. He wants to do a job, to summarize that discourse. And he throws his ring and it falls into a crack of the earth and it went down into Pata. So Hanuman goes and he says, did you see to that same Bali? Did you see the ring of Sri Ram? He says, which universe, Hanuman, are you from? Which universe? Remember, Mahavishnu is from, he has different universes. Different things are happening. And in that discourse, you hear the reference to multiple universe, multiple timeline, multiple things are happening. So when we hear in TVs in today's world, people are investigating our dharma. When you see different stars and actresses are sitting by our lingams and praying with tilak on their forehead, and they're studying the science of yoga, karma, dharma. They want to become a Hindu, they want to practice Mahavirat, and they are interested in the science of our dharma. I want you to start to think about it. What we are throwing away, like me and my moringa at the beginning of tonight's discourse, I did not have any value for it. Honestly, I did not like this stick wood to carry that used to put in samba, dal and so on. Hated the taste of the Saijan Baji and all that. Too bitter. And then it became Americanized, it became westernized, it became the fad in Europe. People in France are running it down. Now it's hip. Now things like hardy tea, turmeric tea, ginger shots, not a drug when people are cooking Indian food, for those of you who are cooks, and they're using a lot of ginger. That, oh God, there's too much of work. There's too much of things to clean. Let's just make it bare minimum. Now the Western world is saying, if you use the ginger, if you use these things, it'll help. One of the main presence in the diet of many people in India is onion, because of the zinc content. We live in a world where it is apparent people are becoming more and more sterile. The population is as if it is shrinking. Many countries, you have negative growth already, aging population. But in our Dharma, and this is one of the reasons why Hare Krishna Vaishnavites don't use the onion. It interferes with your hormonal development of testosterone in a man because of the zinc content, making you lusty, making you, you want to come to copulate, you want to come together, but they want to focus on God. So you know what, cut out this so that you could focus on God. That's the logic. But in the diet of Indian people, not religion, Indian people, culture-wise, when you see murtani, when you see different recipes, a lot of onion is there. Because they knew that Devi is in the form of the healthy foods that exist, that she manifests in every cosmos, in every universe, to help children in the form of the diet too. When somebody talks about the Ayurvedic side of the Vedas, the studies of plants, botany, roots, if I boil this, if I drink that, the herbal medicine. Remember, at the end of the day, aspirin, the great tablet aspirin, is just a tree that a doctor mashed the flowers in a lab, and he looked at the effects it had on the blood, and he develops a tablet from it. Biochemistry is the making of drugs. Today, people are developing biochemicals, tablets, based on the studies that Hinduism professed. There are many examples of this, but the root of what is causing the herb or the energy in the plant to work is the Prakriti, is the Devi. That is another manifestation. This is why Hindus bow to the neem. Hindus bow to the Shami tree. Hindus bow to the Gulab Jamun tree, or what we call Ribena. People bow to the trees. Why? Because that is a form of mother. If I said bow to the Tulsi plant, you say, okay, Baba, I get it. I understand. I understand that. Imagine you are seeing God in everything, because she manifests in everything. So then, dear devotees, tonight again, and I'm repeating for emphasis, she's more than this. She's more than your Kali Murti. She's more than this. And when somebody is only fixated on the Murti or the Parsad or the clothes or these things, you are limiting yourself. Truthfully, like Lord Shiva, close your eye, find mother inside, and feel her working through you. See her playing in your children. In the moments when there's trouble, worry, stress, Durga is at work. Durga is at work, and constantly you are being pushed and pulled in this sea, as if we are in the waves, in the current, like the egg, being pushed and pulled in this experience called life. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Tonight, allow me to close And I hope those of you looking on, please send me a message letting me know if what you thought of these discourses. If you have any questions, please, I know there are many people that are in need of advice. I understand that. And as I said, my role is to supplement, to help. I'm not, we're not competing, pundits. We're not, your guru is your guru. Your Diksha guru is your guru. But if I can help, I'm willing to help. If you understand my meaning, please feel free to message. Please take it upon yourself. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can guide me what to read about next, what to guide you, what to discuss, what is our next topic. For those people in my group, you know where I'm coming from. If you'd like to join the group, please send me a message. I'll add you to the group. Wherever you are in this world, we could be together on a daily basis in the ashram. One WhatsApp group has 256. I think we're up to 9 groups now. And daily I send out different little tidbits, little teachings, procedures, how to do Ganesh Vrat, how to do this, why we do that, so that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you could still be in prayer. We could still have satsang, may not be singing. Satsang could be communicating about God. And in doing your job, you could watch your phone just like everything else, but instead of watching the pornography, instead of watching the useless informations and TikTok, maybe we could watch something that would help your soul. That is my intention. If you have the earnest to accept the invitation, it's a different story. If you have the karma to take up the opportunity to understand your Devi and your Devatas more, that's left to you. The ball is now in your court. God bless each and every one of you, and I hope you get to conclude your Navrat. I hope you had a wonderful season, and I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to be together with you. I hope you've learned something. Forgive me if the time was short. If you would like to hear more on these topics, please join me in my groups. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook and TikTok so that you can get more information, as I will present more soon. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Let's all put our hands together as we do final pratna as we conclude tonight. Om Gita Ganga Cha Gayatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahma Vidya Brahma Valdi Trisandhya Mukta Gehini Artha Mata Chirananda Bhau Agni Bhayanashani Vedatraya Parananta Tattvarata Gyana Manjari Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Everybody, Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Have a good night, and until we meet in Satsang again, keep good. Jai Sitaram. God bless you. For those of you, remember, who are with me in the morning, we're starting early. Bring your flowers. Bring the children. And come, let's pray together. Sitaram, everybody. Bye-bye.